Hey guys, it's Dana Graham here with Royal LePage Alliance. Let's talk today about navigating the home buying process during these changing times. Currently, it's April 15th, 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic is still kind of in full swing, and that means that we've had to change our normal protocols and normal processes for purchasing and selling homes here in Winnipeg. And I wanted to talk about what has changed for buying a home and what processes I've put into place to make it easier and safer for everybody. So currently in-person showings of homes are still going on. Open houses have been canceled completely, and so there are no public events where you can go into a house and kind of passively view it. You need to make an appointment with an agent to go see a house. And so that's kind of changing the dynamic a little bit because buyers need to be a little bit more serious. You're not going to, make an appointment and view a home if you're not seriously thinking about buying a house right now. Even for your own safety, for the safety of the agent, for the time. Lots of people aren't leaving their houses. So so that's changing the dynamic a little bit, but in-person showings are still going on. There are different things that are put in place. So we do need to sign a waiver before we enter a home, just saying that you haven't had any symptoms of COVID-19, you haven't been traveling, essentially you're feeling fine and you're comfortable going into the home, and that's just for the seller's peace of mind. We're also limiting the number of people during a showing. So normally it means, you could bring your mom, your dad, your partner's parents, your aunt, your uncle to come see the house, whoever the main decision makers are. But now we are limiting the number of people into a showing to 3. And so that's 2 people plus a realtor. So that really limits, the number of decision makers that go into a house to 2. We can do 2 different house tours, but showing times are still only an hour, so it really minimizes the amount of people who are allowed to go into a house. But that being said, they're still happening, and lots of people are still seeing houses in person. It is important to have the conversation with your agent if you've been looking for a while, kind of restart that conversation about your financial stability, your job status, things like that. You may need to get pre-approved if you or your partner is off work. That will affect your pre-approval. Some of you have down payments in RRSPs, and RRSPs have been negatively affected by this. So rethink your financial situation. Find an agent that you trust. Now more than ever, it's important to have an agent on your side as a buyer. So not calling the listing agents and wanting to see houses, but having an agent on your side to have those conversations with about whether now is even a good time for you to buy. It'll depend on what type of home you're looking to buy. It'll depend on your timeline, on your job status, your financial stability, etc. So find somebody that you trust to have that conversation with. That's super important. As things progress, I think it's more important to move more things online, or as many things as possible to be not in person, just for the safety of everyone involved. So I have started to do virtual pre-showing. So if there's a house that clients of mine like, it's hard to see the layout online. I've said forever, online listings are very different from in-person showings. You can get a feel for a house, but an online listing is essentially an ad. So they're not gonna, take a picture of the huge elephant in the room, whatever that is. So I'm going to houses without my clients. I'm taking, a FaceTime or Zoom video with them, and we're walking through the house together. And while we're walking through the house, they can ask questions like, yeah, we were wondering what that angle was, or what that weird thing in the corner was, or it looked like there might have been, you know, a deal breaker in there somewhere. So that's kind of a step one. And then if after the virtual showing my clients still like the house, still want to see it, then we do an in-person showing, because there really is no substitute for the in-person actually walking through the house. Offers. So usually offers to purchase are in-person. I'm still doing in-person offers, but if a client of mine is in quarantine or doesn't feel comfortable meeting in person, I am doing Zoom offers to purchase, which means you have a copy of the offer, I have a copy of the offer, we're on video and going through that offer together, step by step, line by line. I'm not just going to email you the offer and say, okay, sign here, here, and here. We're going to step by step go through the offer and outline all of the important things that you want in there, and then sign it as well. So that's offers. I'm also doing Zoom buyers meetings. So I've never been a huge fan of email communication. I think it's very difficult to get to know somebody via email. I try to do video emails to kind of mix it up a little bit, but instead of, you know, emailing back and forth about what you're looking for and what you want and why you need it, I'm finding Zoom meetings a little bit more personal and a little bit easier to figure out what each person wants, why it's important, what your timelines are, etc. So Zoom buyer meetings are the third thing on my list. Number 4 are home inspections. So of course, home inspections are normally about 4 hours, and you would be in somebody else's house for a really long period of time. I'm still very much encouraging home inspections to be done. My home inspector and I have come up with a new way of doing home inspections where he is in the house and I open the door for him, essentially. I'm in the house as well. We do the home inspection. It's about, you know, a 2 or 3 hour process. And then the clients come for about 30 minutes to an hour at the end. My home inspector does a walkthrough, but essentially limits the amount of time that we're all in the house together, just to eliminate the possibility of contamination, I guess. So there is protocols in place to still do a home inspection, still do a really thorough job looking at the house, but minimizing your risk during that time. Yeah, and that is kind of the new way of purchasing a house during this time. It's still done. It may be a good time for you to buy right now. It may be a good time in a couple of months from now. So if you want to talk more about that, please send me a message, text, email, whatever works for you. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.